happening, everybody, and welcome back to the True Gamer Podcast, a bonus episode, a show hosted by two gamers for you, the true gamers. Did I get that right?
Nailed it. Nailed it.
Because I got it out of whack. I don't know how that went.
Perfect.
I'm one of your hosts, Eddie, along with my bro, the inverted gamer himself, Sheps. How's it going, bro?
Yeah, it's going good. I mean, I've had a busy week, so I haven't been able to come to a lot of these streams. But on the other hand, I haven't had to come to a lot of these streams.
Exactly. Do you know what? There's two things. You don't get to see me, so that's a plus.
Super bonus.
And also, E3's been quite terrible this year.
It's been a huge letdown. So was Summer Games Fest.
Summer Games Fest.
Not super surprised by that, but...
Yeah, we'll talk about all that kind of stuff
we'll
there.
Get into it.
It's been a bit of a downer in general. I don't know if it's because it's online and it's like, or it's not like E3 doesn't seem to have its presence. It just seems to be these individual companies doing their own things.
I don't buy it because, like the Sony thing last year, that was online. That was incredible. The Xbox One prior to seeing the Sony One felt incredible.
Yeah.
So
I think I have an idea of what it might be. Now, you guys can let us know how you felt as well in it. And a lot of people wrote in to tell us how they did, and we'll talk about that all in a second. But I think it's that now they know they can do things by themselves.
Yes.
They're not putting their heavy hitters out here. And
they're
going to
be for their own events.
They're going to have, so like Xbox with Starfield and whatnot, they're going to be like, why show it here when we can control the message and have a Starfield event? We can have a this event, a that event over there, you know?
Not to constantly pat us on the back, but I feel like in 2019, was it 2019? Yeah, 2019, PlayStation pulled out of E3.
Yeah.
They didn't come to 2019 E3, and we said, or at least I said, that I don't think they need to because they're coming off the back of God of War, and that they're going to do this and realize they don't have to come to these things because they get all the attention anyway. And a bunch of other people are going to start doing their things and likely realize that the cost of going to something like E3 isn't worth it when you can just put it online, use all your own people, all your in-house stuff, and put on your own event. And it looks like that's panned out. E3's been a huge letdown, which is weird because I was actually weirdly excited for it. I think it has.
I was as well.
It has one chance for the next in-person E3, but even that, I don't really care about E3. A few years ago, 5 years ago, my dream was that we would make content and be able to like expense a trip out to E3 and like meet everybody and do all the stuff and do the E3 experience. I don't really care now. Yeah,
it's been going up and down, I guess, because like I like last year I thought, E3's coming back. I hope they can bring back the E3 magic because Summer Games Fest was awful.
It was bad, yeah.
And so far, it's not been that great.
Do you know the other thing? We haven't had, like, the first Summer Games Fest, we at least saw the Unreal Engine 5.
Yeah.
That was an incredible demo.
Yeah.
Really genuinely was. So there was, like, that optimism for the future.
Yeah.
And my take from this last sort of week or so of content, a lot of stuff's not coming out this year. Most of it's coming next year. A bunch of it's cross-platform, which is, like,
Ambient,
good in one way. I would say mostly bad.
Cross-gen, you mean?
What did I say?
Cross-platform. Cross-gen.
Yeah, I meant cross-gen, which is like good for the masses, but in my opinion, it's awful for the games.
Mm-hmm.
And so there's not so much to be looking forward to. At least it doesn't feel that way. And it's a weird spot to be in because we both love games and gaming. We're actually really optimistic about the games coming out.
Yeah.
So
the thing you mentioned about the games being cross-gen, it's so funny that this has all happened now around June 11th when Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart came out.
Yes.
Because that game is single-handedly the best argument to why there should not be cross-generational games.
Earlier I said
it's
to
mad.
and now we're like, rant.
Oh, so all these games don't look as good as Ratchet.
You just brought up the exact thing I wanted to have a little rant about.
Oh, really? Okay.
Shall we, before we get into it, this podcast, along with all of our content across both of our channels and our streaming over on twitch.tv/Conbrosations, is brought to you by our incredible patrons over on patreon.com/Conbrosations, who make this all possible. Who do we have to thank?
We have Diogo Dildo, Isak the Ultimate Cumsock, Carol Rivia, aka Catsper the Friendly Patron, Record Friction, Dan the Man, Jeremy Renner, that's right, an official Avenger, Martin Scorsese's Master H Barts 12, the Midget Alo from Smallville Sabine, the former freeloader Christian, Master Chief himself, Albiscori, Super Sus Ben Fryer, who is a defective clone of Eddie. It's just so awful stuff. The Star Wars Encyclopedia, Adam Sunling, Filthy FIFA Fanatic, Joe McCormack, Mighty Juicy Left Nut, and Kevin the #1 simp. of Phil Spencer and Xbox. Thank you
Gaming
so
for
much.
gamers by gamers for the gaming.
Do you know what? I'm really upset we didn't get more of him. In this whole event, he was in it for like maybe 2 minutes. And,
What? Really?
Seriously, madness. Right
What's
at
the
the
point?
end. And he managed to squeeze in a gamer there. He managed to
nice,
squeeze in a
nice.
gamer.
Yeah.
And we only got to see one T-shirt. Normally he does multiple T-shirts when he changes them out. And it didn't work out.
It's been a weird one.
Before you get onto your thing, I just want to tell everyone what this is. This is going to be a wrap-up of the E3 shows. You've seen it in the title.
Yep.
As of recording, it's Monday, midday.
Yep.
So the only ones that are left are the Capcom, Take-Two, and Nintendo Direct. So those aren't going to be covered in this video.
No.
But we're covering the Xbox, we're covering the Square Enix Summer Game Fest, and we're going to say good old F-U to Yves Guillemot and his Ubisoft event.
Of course.
So that's all we're covering.
Also, I will say, because we're huge Nintendo simps.
Yes.
Like, you think we're Sony ponies. No. You were literally playing Pokemon Go on your stag do. Like, literally. I mean, we flew across Europe to Budapest in the middle of summer. It was gorgeous. It was incredible.
Just trying to get a Pokemon out of me.
Right. You know? So that, I do think just the Nintendo thing could save the whole thing. We could end up, if we finish on a high note, with like some incredible Pokemon stuff, and of course Just Dance for the Wii. Just Dance 3 for the Wii.
Mate, you have to come on.
Right, of course. That it could genuinely save. This could all change, and by Thursday or sometime maybe next week, we've changed our tune. Totally possible.
Yeah.
Capcom does bring out some bangers, so it is possible.
Could be Resident Evil 4 remake like Katie wants so bad.
Right,
oh my god.
Right.
Oh my god.
So it's possible that we change our tune. For right now, it's been a little bit disappointing.
Yeah.
As we get onto our thing, because I know the answer, but I want to quickly talk about it. Ratchet and Clank is what we've both been playing. You a lot more, because I've been super busy since about Thursday, last Thursday, when we started recording. So I streamed it on twitch.tv/Conbrosations. Also, by the way, thank you to our sugar daddies. Thank you, Daddy.
Yes, thank you, Daddy.
Who subscribe over there. I've streamed the first 2 hours. That's all I've got so far. I'll do some more probably today, Monday, maybe
Good
Tuesday
stuff.
or Wednesday, something like that. So I'll have maybe 10 hours under my belt by the time we do our impressions video on Thursday.
Yep.
Really enjoying it. How are you finding it? Because I know you've played a bunch.
Mate, it's actually fantastic, but I'll save the impressions for the impression episode. But what was your point you wanted to make about the thing?
It came up in chat.
Yeah.
This game, which Ratchet and Clank, which I think we both agree is not a console seller.
No.
I that may have changed, but generally speaking, Ratchet and Clank isn't pushing consoles. It's not The Last of Us. It's not God of War. It's not Ghost of Tsushima.
Yeah.
Probably doesn't push PS5s. Relatively short, sort of something like 15 hours, kiddie style game. Proof that games need to be current gen only. It is. I do feel a little bit vindicated. I've been saying that it was the first PS5 only, like proper PS5 game, and I do feel like it's more true for this than it is for Returnal.
I was gonna say, having played them both, I would definitely, as a showpiece to someone, I'd be like, you need to play Ratchet and Clank.
Yeah, Returnal feels
this
like
what PS5 does.
Returnal feels like a souped up PS4 game.
Yeah.
Sort of the sort of jump you'd expect from like an Xbox One to a Series X. Ratchet and Clank feels like, and we said it before, not just like the next generation, but like a whole new species.
Yeah.
I actually, the first time we get to, the little rifts that you can jump across to.
Yeah.
I went backwards and forwards across that maybe 5 or 10 times, just sort of feel what was going on, feel with the haptic, see what was going on with the map and everything. It is mind-boggling. It's not just an effect, right? Like, it really isn't just an effect. And that's one of the intra-level portals, if you will. I'm really deeply sad that God of War 5 will not be next gen. Ratchet and Clank would not run on a PS4.
Yeah.
I think Digital Foundry said it can't be done on anything else.
Can't be done anything else. And there was I'm only halfway through this episode, but they did an interview with Insomniac game designer, with the guy who made the engine and how everything worked with ray tracing and stuff like that. And he was explaining the stuff, and it's just like, it's to do with the pipeline, this, and that. And I'll explain it on the next game episode once I've finished it, and I can
We've used that similar analogy of the Xbox runs on one lane motorway with a really high speed limit, and the PlayStation runs on a multi-lane highway with a pretty fast speed limit. Yeah,
it's just it's completely different, and there's no way it could ever be done on a PS4. So That's that. And I'll explain it on True Game Podcast when we do that.
And again, I'm
it's
only
the best testament to a PS5 exclusive games.
It's pretty incredible, and I think watching it, maybe it doesn't look so impressive, and then but which I can understand, because you just think, oh, it's just some visual effect. It's a lot more than that. It is a lot more than just some visual effect that fast processing can copy. You know, it's not like Portal, for example. Yeah. Right? Portal just functionally opens doors within a map. This thing is totally different, and it feels really different. And my whole point, because I'm really loving the game. I know I like Ratchet and Clank. I already knew I was going to love this game because I'm a Ratchet and Clank guy. I'm really sad and actually kind of angry that God of War is not going to be a PS5 exclusive. For what we said from before, like that, just what this is showing the PS5 can do, and it's not stretching its legs, by the way. I can tell that my PS5 has quite a lot more to give. It's maybe at like half of its power's being squeezed out.
We're at the beginning of the life cycle. There's no way it's fully optimized.
Right, exactly. That just what they could possibly make out of God of War 5, what the options that the PS5 will give them that they will not be able to do because it must now run on a PS4.
The only thing we can do is hold out hope for Spider-Man. We can hold out hope for Spider-Man. It's Insomniac, which are fantastic developers. Maybe they'll see some sense and they'll go, okay, we're just going to make this exclusive, guys, and we'll see what happens then.
They really,
save it for the True Gamer podcast. Save it for that, and we'll get all our frustrations out.
I'm actually sad. I meant this to be like a little passionate rant, but I actually feel like kind of
upsetting,
gamer crying, you know?
Anyway, guys, let's get started with the E3 showcase.
Let's tear these motherfucking suits down.
I'm going to start with the one that everybody's probably clicked on for, the one that you guys have seen. We're going to start with the Xbox showcase.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
They showed off a total of 30 games.
Yep.
That they claimed was going to be 27 of them exclusive, and then the rest not. And I went through all of them in detail, and I've got a list of everything, some release dates and what console they're on and stuff like that, everything to do with them. But what are your impressions out of things that have come out from the Xbox showcase? What stood out to you? Did you like anything? Did you hate anything?
Yeah.
Give me some feelings and I'll tell you mine as well.
The major thing, obviously, Maury, was that the lie detector determined that was a lie. Right? They're full of shit. They're full of shit.
Go on, tell me. Tell me, because I don't know what you mean, though.
half of these games aren't like truly exclusives.
Yes, there was a lot. I had if I write this down, there's 7 Xbox exclusive games, actual exclusive games. 8 of them timed exclusives, 7 of them multi-platforms, and 5 of them were just updates to already exclusive games. Right. So everyone does this.
Not a lie.
Everyone does this every year. They bend the truth to the point where it becomes. But I didn't tell the truth.
It's kind of ridiculous, isn't it?
Fucking it's like, it's just the way it is.
It's to the point where it actually would be less insulting if they just lied. Yeah. And then we could be like, oh, well, they're a big corporation. Of course they're going to lie to you, right? Like politicians, you know they're going to lie to you.
They're never going to do anything you want, but how do you feel about did any games stand out to you? Did anything feel good?
I'm such a fucking simp. And I dropped the full F there because Halo actually looked quite good to me.
I loved it. Tell me all about it, bro. Tell me all about it. Let's talk some Halo.
Okay, first things first. You're currently playing Mass Effect, which is a game I had wanted you to play but couldn't really convince you to play it because it was so old. They did the Legendary Edition and now you're getting to play it, right? Assuming... I pitched, if you weren't super hyped on it, that you would do like a Mass Effect, then Halo 1, then Mass Effect 2, then Halo 2, right? And sort of switch it out because, so you don't get overwhelmed with Mass Effect stuff. But I've been pushing for you to play the Halo, the Master Chief Collection for ages because Halos 1 through 3 are incredible. 3 is a masterpiece. I felt underserved by 4. Never played 5, thank God.
Apparently it's bad. That's why I don't know.
I will say... Even from just because they showed us a CG trailer of the story.
Yes, the campaign.
And then some multiplayer footage.
Yeah.
The CG trailer feels to me like we're back to Halo.
Yeah.
I am ridiculously optimistic about it, and I really am trying to calm myself down because I've been burnt before. I've been burnt before by 343. I've been burnt before on the franchise overall, and I don't want this to to hurt me.
Yeah.
Right. The killing of Halo is one of the key factors to me leaving Xbox.
It's a cardinal sin.
And it's one of the 1 through 3 is one of the greatest franchises ever made. The multiplayer, I'm optimistic about it. It's not the Halo that I remember, which is the Bungie Halo 3, the thing like that sort of kicked off MOG and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But we're 14 or 15 years on from that almost. Jesus Christ. we're many years on from that, right? And I appreciate that, like, what people want to see. The pace of the game is different. But it also looks like it seems to have kept the soul of the Halo multiplayer. I'm optimistic. I want it to be good so that it can be an excuse for you to get into Halo.
Yeah.
Because I want to be able to nerd out with you about it. I want to nerd out with everybody, like, about predictions for, like... I've got theories about why the AI, which I don't know because I'm a game and a half behind.
Yeah.
Why that's still around in the thing it's said it's supposed to be deleted, and if
that was what was intriguing to me.
Cortana.
I was like,
I think it's Cortana's the reason for all of this. Cortana's my first digital bae.
Oh yeah,
right?
Okay, all right.
She was
first of many.
The first of many. Yeah, she's the first like AI that I simped on.
Okay.
You know, of course, as many of us did. So you got your classics, Jessica Rabbit, right? Cortana I got to. So I have like little theories, headcanons about what happened and why,
right.
Filling in the blanks so I didn't have to play Halo 5.
That sounds like they did a good job then for you in terms of the Halo reveal and the trailers and stuff like that they showed.
I will.
Because it will get a fan of Halo that previously left them, bring back to be interested.
And Halo Infinite, and a real Halo, like a true Halo successor, a real Halo 4, is a console pusher. It would get me to buy a Series X, and I'm not an S. I always said I would get me to buy a Series X.
That's amazing. That's the first time he said it would ever get him to buy a Series X.
Right. Halo, a real successor, would get me to buy the Series X. Also with Fable on the wings, I would go for the X. I would get it.
That's really cool, that is. That's really cool.
However,
go on.
If they mess this up, I will follow every 343 developer into every career change through retirement, and to your funerals you'll get handwritten letters addressing your family about what a monster you were. You think I'm joking? This is more dear to me than 1v1 duels and Ghost of Tsushima.
Oh god.
Like this, seriously, this is...
I can imagine them like, if you can't do, you teach.
Right.
They go to teach like game programming, game design, and you enroll in a class.
I would.
So you can get to them and just be like, you're
talking about optimization, but actually, if you go to level 5 in Halo Infinite, what's
would you say this is
right. And what's with showing off an old build? Who does that? So here's the thing: is I felt like I had a clean break from Xbox and Halo. After the 360, the Xbox One was such a flop in my opinion, and they burnt me on Halo 4. I was just done with it.
Yeah.
And now I'm looking at getting back together with my ex. I'm checking out our old Instagram photos. That's basically what the stage I'm at with Halo now and 343. But like, if we break up again, done, dead to me.
It.
So that's where I'm at Halo 3. What are your impressions? Because I really want to hear what you have to say on it.
So there was two parts to it. Basically, there was the campaign part and the multiplayer part. The multiplayer part was announced to be free to play.
Okay.
Which brings up questions. I was like,
are they going
is it
for
going
like
to
the
battle pass? I don't think it's battle royale, but maybe they will have a mode like. But will they have the battle pass? Will it be microtransactions? Will it be not?
Skins. If it's like the Fortnite model, I'm okay with that.
There is a lot
Halo live, and I'll buy my samurai skins. I'll buy my.
There is a lot of customization. They showed a bit of that, so that could be the route they go, which is cool. Yeah. As long as it's not geared towards anything, the usual stuff that we say.
Right.
The multiplayer trailer, cut with all of the gameplay in there, looked fantastic.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm playing this. It's free to play. I literally have no reason not to. I've got a PC, thanks to the guys at home. There's no reason why I can't play.
That's something that bugs me, though. Again, Halo. It's weird that I said I would buy an Xbox Series X.
Exactly.
So that again, that comes to our point of like, it's not console pushing. I Game Pass. However, You've never experienced getting like a Killionaire.
And that's the thing, they were doing the announcer
Right.
voice and stuff like that, and I was like, this is really
Kilimanjaro.
cool. And Nirok was in the chat and he was like, Halo announcer voice over everything else, and I was
Yeah,
like,
no, he's
sold. That's right, exactly. I mean, I feel you. I'm hearing it now. I can hear it.
It's amazing.
The Halo multiplayer trailer, 100%. That was the peak, in my opinion, of the entire Xbox event. Fantastic. The campaign CG trailer, the in-game
the
trailer,
trailer,
whatever it is,
yeah.
the non-gameplay stuff, it was intriguing because the whole thing that Chief was saying, he was like, she was saying I was supposed to be deleted, but I'm not. And I'm like, oh, does that mean Cortana's alive? What happened? Did she stop this? I was like, I don't even know Cortana. I don't know Chief. And I'm feeling this already, so I liked it. However, we saw gameplay of Halo last year.
Yes.
And we didn't see any gameplay of Halo, the campaign, this year.
I actually think that's a good sign.
Let me say what I think first of all, but I thought that was troubling because, A, we're like less than 6 months now away from it. We need to see something. And we need to see what we're buying, especially because you guys said we're going back to the drawing board and we're going to change this, we're going to change that, we're going to do that.
Yeah.
Show us the changes you've made in that year. 0 is what we can assume right now. And I'm worried that they were like, oh, it's not a big enough of a difference what we've done, that people are going to be comparing it directly to last year.
Right.
And that's the reason why they didn't do it, and they're trying to cover themselves. And that makes me think, oh, go like that.
Fair.
And a quick note about, no, go on, tell me what you think about why that's a good thing.
Why? Well, I'm not committing to it's a good sign, but in my mind, they saw the old build, and one, knew that showing an old build wouldn't cut the mustard this time.
Yeah.
And two, that they obviously have in-game gameplay footage, right? They've chosen not to show it. Why? Probably because they got all that feedback about everything they'd done wrong with what they were showing. We don't want, the raid stuff. We don't want bandit camps and all that stuff that's not Halo. And so they've redesigned everything in that sense. Hopefully, I have no idea. I'm making this up. This is my head
Wishful thinking, I suppose.
And that they're just not going to show it yet. And the reason they're not showing the gameplay is because they're reworking all the maps and doing like staging and everything. And map design is not making a map that flows right and has the right tempo is actually surprisingly difficult. And I think they're still tweaking that stuff. Otherwise, they would show it. And so I'm hopeful that they've taken out the bandit camp stuff.
6 months though, man. If they're still at that stage, it feels very.
Well, so
this
is my thing.
Very troubled. Very troubled.
Again, in my head canon for this to work, and because I'm now excited about it, that it's more like they have all the assets ready, and what they're doing is like, this section needs to be short. It takes too long to get from these enemies to those enemies. Shorten that. That's too quick. Lengthen it. We want this thing. Let's add a warthog hit. Nah, that didn't work in playtesting.
Right.
That's the stage they're at. So they have the map. They have, because Halo is functioning sort of like Doom. We play Doom Eternal, right? Where
But that's the thing.
A level grind.
That's the foundation. That's the foundation.
But not
that's
if,
way too soon.
Not if you've taken it from like an open world bandit camp thing to then go, okay, well, we need to cut this into the sections. So that's, again,
we'll see.
I'm hopeful. I choose to believe that that's what's going on because I'm now excited. But I feel you. We are very close. They have. Then again, they could just delay. Delays have been the name of the game for the last year and a half.
If they delay it again after delaying it a year, it's going to be really tough.
Yeah, I think that was one of the things, by the way, that killed some. Cyberpunk is a good example of like delaying and delaying. Do one huge delay.
Yeah.
Just say, look, I'm really sorry. We put this timeline down for the game we want to deliver. We're not ready. We're
and
going
crucially,
3 years.
Make it good. Make it work in the end.
Make it good, exactly. Make it good, and then. I would even rather say, look, it's gonna be 2.5 years, and then you finish it in like 1.5, and it's really ready. And they say we needed this time. Turns out we managed to get it done way quicker. Here's the release date, and it's ready. Don't delay and then delay and then delay and then delay. It's too much. People lose excitement, and but I don't know. Maybe they're just waiting to do their own release.
Yes,
like they did some stuff for like controllers and things, and I do genuinely believe that. Releasing like promo stuff for a controller or something is quite similar for Halo. When you think Xbox, if you're not thinking Halo, you don't really know Xbox.
Yeah, Xbox
There's nothing
is
else
heritage, that is.
There's nothing else that's attached to the Xbox
No.
like Master Chief is. Master Chief is iconic. He's as iconic to gaming as Doom Guy, in my opinion. Xbox is Master Chief, and vice versa.
Was there any other standout games that you felt like you wanted to mention at the Xbox event? At the end, I'll go through everything, but there is something I want to mention before I go into my thing. Well, I was going to say that, like, I didn't like this event.
Yeah.
I didn't like it, and I put it out on Twitter. And when it comes to E3, when it comes to anything, when it comes to console related, when it comes to Xbox or PlayStation, if you say something bad about that person, or if you say something good about that person, you're instantly a fanboy. That's the way it is. You're instantly a fanboy.
Yeah, there's nothing in the middle.
There's nothing in the middle. You can't just objectively look at something or give your opinion on something. Whether it's people can have an incorrect opinion, doesn't mean they're a fanboy. People can have a correct opinion, doesn't mean they're a fanboy. But that's the way it is with gaming.
You can also say something true and be wrong.
Yeah.
Like, you can not tell a lie, but also be wrong. That's
exactly.
or vice versa.
No matter whatever situation it is, the common denominator is you are a fanboy.
Of course, yeah.
And I put out, that was a terrible Xbox event. It was just a bunch of CG cutscenes and stuff like that, and not much gameplay, and I don't know what I'm excited for. And I specifically called out Starfield, saying that I don't know what Starfield is. How can I be excited for it?
Yeah, I totally agree.
I'm going to tell you right now. So we had, as I mentioned before, we had 7 Xbox exclusive games, core Xbox exclusive games from Xbox. They're always going to be Xbox exclusive, no doubt about it. Oh, by the way, we did get the confirmation that Starfield is going to be exclusive to Xbox and PC.
I think that's a good move.
That's what we said. Hopefully, we said possibly they could bring it out on PlayStation to sell it for $70, but that's an option. If not, they don't do it and they just go exclusive.
I hope Starfield's amazing. We have no idea what it's about, but I hope it's amazing, and I actually think it should be Xbox only, and it should be amazing. I also think Halo should be Xbox only.
It's one of the rare games as well that they've done that is next gen or current gen exclusive, so they're not bringing it on previous gens.
Good move.
7 games that are Xbox exclusive. 5 of those had no gameplay.
Yeah, we don't. And also, like, Starfield, they're using as a big, like, hey, this thing. We don't know anything about it. We don't know anything about it.
So that's the thing. 5 of those had no gameplay.
Yeah.
Most of them just had like either a title card or a CG cutscene or something like that in it. Starfield, for example, you can have a look at the previous podcast. I was like, Halo and Starfield are my most looking forward to see what they've got for us, because Halo, you guys speak so much about it. I want to get hyped about Halo. Turns out the multiplayer did that for me, not so much the campaign yet. But Starfield, all we had was a title before. Yeah. And all we have now is a woman sitting in a lander in space. Yeah. There's a walker. And that's it. It's in space.
We don't know anything.
No one knows anything about it. And then I go on Twitter and I'm like, oh, this stuff like this. And I see people like my most hyped games of E3, the games that I loved the most of, Starfield, Avowed, and not Avowed, but Avowed wasn't there. But these ones that we haven't seen anything from.
Hey man, look, I'm a huge RTS fan. That's why I'm excited for Starfield, right? Because it's an RTS. That's what I like, isn't it? It's like a new version of StarCraft, right?
Nah, brother, say it's for FPS. Nah, brother, it's a third-person shooter.
We don't know.
We don't know anything about it. And people got on my back because it was an anti-Xbox opinion. That's what it was. Okay, that's the reason why people got on me. And I was like, no. It's because we don't know anything of it. And then they started to go, well, you say things about God of War 2. You're excited for God of War 2. I'm excited for the news that a sequel to one of the greatest games ever is being made. I'm not excited because Kratos is in it and he's going to fight Thor. I don't know that because we don't know what's happening. Sure, I'm excited because it's the sequel.
Yeah. You know what the game is. It's not like God of War 5 is going to come out and it's a first-person shooter or an RTS. You know what it's going to be.
Someone made that point and I was like, They were like, God of War could come out and it could be they changed the protagonist. It's played by a female. It's not even in Norse mythology anymore. It's now modern day. And I was like,
you're an idiot. Whoever that is. I normally don't do the you're an idiot thing unless it's one of our super bros. Or a group of people that we definitely didn't forget about, the true gamers who support us at the $5 tier. Is this a version? Yes, this is a true gamer who supports us at the $5 tier and made this podcast, the True Gamer podcast, specifically happen. They cyberbullied us. You got it up? These guys who they said, we're going to give you $5. You're going to take our $5 a month and more. And we are going to get in return for that. Here's the trade. Oh, cool. Who do we have to thank?
We have Jeremy Horder, Sab2557, Real Comic Cinema, Real Record Friction, Kadea as God Made Her, Isak Mani, Dan, Cats Bacoral, Doc Nutella, Super Whale Ben, Albie Scory, Kevin Crow, Joe McCormack, Diogo, Kevin Crow again, Hey Man, why the fuck is Mario Judah? Where the fuck is Mario Judah though? Jordan GA, Benedict Clobbers, Suck These Nuts, Fishy, The Jackal, Vander, Cobra SS, Jack Nicholas, Max H, and that's all. Thank you very much.
We definitely didn't forget you. We're so professional.
Thank you very much.
No, look, normally, unless you're one of the top super bros or the true gamers, I'm not going to give you that much shit. You've got an opinion, whatever. That's actually stupid.
They were trying
Assassin's Creed.
They were trying to make an overly exaggerated point, but it's out of the realms of reality.
Right.
If you're making a point that's out of the realms of reality, then I can make one as well. What if Xbox closes down tomorrow?
Right.
It's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen.
The only thing they said actually that is on the cards. Oh, it could not even set with the Norse gods. Totally possible.
Yeah.
My very first pitch was, Kratos takes Atreus, leaves entirely to get away from Thor, and they go and beef out the Egyptians for an episode, right? And then we come back for God of War 6.
But modern day,
right? That's ridiculous. They're not going to pop up inside the oldest house and control, right? Don't be ridiculous.
It's just dumb.
That's stupid. It's not a viable point, and there's no way that you can use that to come even close to the deal with Starfield.
Yeah,
because we know even God of War 3 to God of War 4, you roughly know the kind of game you're going to get.
Yeah,
roughly.
Yeah,
right. It's not suddenly an RTS. It's not suddenly an FPS. It's not suddenly it's not Minesweeper. Right.
Not an MMO. Nothing like that. That was the thing. All I was trying to make the point is that because we haven't seen any gameplay of it,
right?
Because we haven't had a sit down where they go, so guys, in the world of Starfield, you play the role of da-da-da-da-da, and your job is to do this, to do that. You follow this person on the mission to go to that place where you found us. Because we haven't had that, I'm just like, I don't know what to be excited for.
It could be a racing game.
I'll see you guys next year when you've got something to show. That was my point.
Yeah.
But people were like, oh, your fanboyism is showing through right here. Your Sony pony colors is showing here. Oh, yeah. I bet you liked Horizon Forbidden West, and it's on PS4, right? Right, guys? And I'm like, what? Why are we bringing that up?
What's this got to do with anything? The thing is, look,
and I'm like, you're calling me fanboy. You're the fanboy right now.
You're fanboying. You're having a freaking conniption fit over literally nothing. Because look, Starfield is my most awaited in-space racing game. Because as we all know, it's all about customizing your starship and racing through the Starfield. We have no idea. We don't know.
Yeah,
we don't know anything.
The one point I will take, somebody made a few of our bros made the point that it's being made by Bethesda, and some people are happy, some people are excited that it's Bethesda making a space game.
Right.
And I was like, cool. I personally don't get excited by that because the recent Bethesda games are proof that they're not doing too great right now. They're like, yeah, but what about Fallout New Vegas and stuff like that? And I'm like, those people aren't there anymore.
Those people aren't there.
Those creative people are gone. You're being made by completely different people, and 76 is proof of that.
That's the thing.
And I was like, but I took their point. I was like, okay, what you want is the old style Bethesda quality. Well, not quality because they've never had good quality, but the old style Bethesda feeling and passion, as you said, but in this new space game. That I can understand, no problem. But don't go and tell me, Bethesda, these people didn't say it, but other people said it. Don't go and tell me Starfield is my game of the show when we have no game.
Yeah, we haven't seen anything about it. It can be your CG trailer of the show, but you don't know anything about the game. And one thing on Bethesda, because it hurts me, but I used to be a huge fan of BioWare, mentioning old games and where they've gone now, right? You're playing the Mass Effect trilogy, BioWare at their peak.
Yeah.
And people mentioned Fallout New Vegas, Bethesda at their peak.
Yeah.
The problem is, what are the current games the team's making? Even if it was all the same people, what are they currently making? What have they got to show? You've got to judge them by their recent portfolio, right? Yeah. And it isn't super hopeful. I hope they'll get back to their old days, because old school Bethesda made some great stuff.
Yeah.
But even if that was true, even if it was peak Bethesda, we we don't know. We just don't know.
No, we don't.
Anything about it. So
anyway, that was the main theme of this that I didn't like about the show, was that it was the Xbox exclusive stuff, which was the stuff that I was interested in to see if there was a reason for me to buy an Xbox, for me to go, do you know what? PlayStation, they got the handle on single player games over there. Yeah. That's never going to change probably. They could always fuck up, but that's probably never going to change. But Microsoft have got their own thing over here. Yeah. Maybe they're killing it in this area. They're killing it. And it's fine to love both of them. I would play a game over there. There's nothing wrong with playing an Xbox game and playing a PlayStation game. It's stupid to not want to do that. I have every version of the console in my house. I can do whichever one I want. Yeah. But I didn't like the fact that nearly every exclusive game had no gameplay to it and no information to it. We had this cool-looking thing at the end, this CG trailer called Redfall. I don't know what it is. People had some powers. There were some vampires. Is it a co-op game? Because there was 4 people in the trailer. Is it a single-player game? Is it a story? I don't know what it is. They announced Outer Worlds 2. Yeah. Outer Worlds at least is a sequel to the first one. Outer Worlds, the first one. You have an idea
of what you're getting.
You have an idea of what you're getting. But again, they just went, Outer Worlds 2. No release date. I was like, all right, well, I'll see you next year anyway. When you got something, then I'll be excited.
I think with Xbox, right? For the 2 approaches are...
And that's because I didn't have an attachment to the first one. If I had an attachment, then I probably would be excited.
Sure,
but I don't. Go on.
One of the big pictures for the Xbox is like the number of... The quantity of games that you can get on like Game Pass and all that stuff, right? And realistically, for the PlayStation, it's the quality of games. Roughly speaking, not an overall rule, but like, just to use a broad brush to paint real quick. The thing is... Other than Halo in the future, Halo and like Fable, we reckon 23 at the earliest. Yeah. All these games, they're in the shadowy future, right? They're obscured by the mist. We have no idea when they're coming.
6 games in here were shown off to be coming within the next 6 months, so in this year.
Okay, yeah. But what
2 of those were multi-platform.
Yeah.
And 2 of them were updates to games that already exist.
Right. How is that an Xbox? This is my biggest problem with the Xbox, is that they tell you they have a lot, right? But a big portion of that, like a lot, is just games you can get access to pretty much anywhere, or updates to games you already have. That isn't more games.
And also, people try to take a hit as well when it comes to, so like Fallout 76 for example, launched terribly, everyone hated it, no one paid any attention, the player count on Steam is ultra low right now, but everyone turns around to me and goes, but Fallout 76 is good now. And then I see Amir this morning and he's like, I tried to get into it because it's free, it's still garbage. And I'm like, whatever. And the Sea of Thieves and whatnot, that launched, had very bare content. People didn't attach to it. They built in the backgrounds, apparently added more stuff into it, and apparently made it better.
I hear really good things about Sea of Thieves right now.
Exactly. But you can't fault me for not sticking with a game or playing a game that came out and its initial reception was, not worth your time.
Right.
And then afterwards going, but it's good now, so now you need to take it seriously. It's like, I've got other games to play now.
We've been really consistent on this, by the way, because we're huge fans of Battlefront 2.
Yes.
And we didn't begrudge anyone for not getting into it. And we've said the exact same thing that a lot of these guys say. It's really good now.
Yeah.
But,
otherwise, every week, we'd be banging on about, like, play Battlefront. Play Battlefront 2. It's amazing now. Why aren't you playing Battlefront 2?
It ended up being really good, but they ruined it up front. It's one of those things. We've been really consistent on this, and you can't say like, you should have kept up with it. Yeah. Who in their right mind would do that? The only reason we kept up with Battlefront 2 is because we're not in our right minds, and it was Star Wars, and we put up with it, and it ended up paying off. But no one else. I would never ask anyone to do that. I would never spend your time telling you to keep up with Battlefront 2 while it's going through those rocky months.
Because it's your time. It's valuable.
Right. That's the way we look at everything we say, everything we recommend.
Yeah.
You're going to pay for it with either your time or your money, right? We're not going to tell you to go and buy a game, spend your hard-earned money on a game, and then spend your time, your free time, on a game that's going to underperform. At least we will genuinely believe it's worth your time and money. Genuinely, right? And even then, like, I'm the biggest simp for Ghost of Tsushima, and I still say, look, if you're not, maybe it's not your thing. There's a couple of things you got to know that aren't so incredible about it, even though I love it.
Yeah.
Because it's really important to us. So why would
Why
would anyone ask you to keep up with games that, like, Fallout 76 is one of the worst offenders of this, one of the worst.
Yeah. As well as it being like a buggy mess and bare content, they'll try to screw people physically with the physical games and stuff like that.
Oh, you don't want to pay $15 for a Doorblood?
And then they were like, oh yeah, here's a collector's edition bag. Actually, we're going to use some cheap material in the final version.
Oh, I completely forgot about that.
Yeah. Anyway, that's my grievances for the actual thing. There were peaks, but they were sharp peaks. It was like, like that.
Right.
That's how it was for me. That's why I said it was a terrible show. Now, I'm not going to hate anyone who says they loved the show, because there might have been a game in here that I don't like that they love. That's the reison why everyone has tastes and opinions. But remember that you're a fanboy for liking it, so
of course,
just remember that. Just remember that. I'm going to go through in chronological order, just bang all of these out of things there, because I've got a list right here.
There's definitely some I missed, because I only did the quick catch-up.
Starts off with Starfield, CG trailer, no gameplay, but we got a release date of 11/11/2022, which I think is the 11th year anniversary of Elder Scrolls.
Okay, cool.
Something like that. And there was a little Easter egg in the trailer as well. There was Elder Scrolls map on one of the machines.
Cool
for the people that noticed that, and I was like, that's quite cool. Anyway, the next game was Stalker 2. We got gameplay of it.
Yeah, that one was...
I was kind of shook by it.
Yeah.
I was like, it's very dark, and there's monsters. I don't know.
Yeah.
I liked it a lot.
Looked good. Do you know what? Actually,
a lot of Russian.
a lot of Russian. Also, why could no one shoot the guy? Maybe there's a reason for that. I'm gonna reserve judgment, but I gotta be honest. Like from looking at it, because it was one of the things that came up in my quick recap, last night and this morning. It looked like he was playing on like 3 below easy, and the guys were just like, like, you know, like in the movies where there's just an outline of bullets.
Yeah,
you know, around like Ali G and his huge dongs
everywhere but him.
So, but that looked interesting. Yeah, okay.
I liked it. That's a timed exclusive. It's coming in 3 months after this releases.
So it's not even Xbox. I assumed it was Xbox only.
Timed exclusive.
Okay.
So instead of saying world premiere in this event, they duped us. Instead of saying world premiere, they would say coming day one to Game Pass, or they would say console launch exclusive. So it'd be like, on launch it's exclusive, but then afterwards it's coming to whatever. So it's coming 3 months afterwards to PS5. Yeah. It's a big game. It's next gen only. Well, current gen only.
I suppose that's good, yeah.
150 gigabytes of game.
Okay.
All those 4K textures right there.
Yeah.
Back 4 Blood. Again, that's a multi-platform game coming in October. I like the look of it. Made from the people that Left 4 Dead. We did get gameplay of that. Contraband. Arcane Studios, we don't know exactly. I think it was Arcane. Don't know anything about it.
Okay.
Actually, I think Arcane was the Rise Redfall. No gameplay, just a CG trailer, and all it was with these guys in a workshop, and it said co-op open world. No date.
Yeah.
Don't know what to expect from that. Sea of Thieves, there's a free update, A Pirate's Life. It's got Johnny Depp from the Pirates of the Caribbean in it. June 22nd. Yakuza Like a Dragon is now available on Xbox. The physical release is coming out as well. Battlefield 6 gameplay. We actually got to see gameplay, and that looked gorgeous.
That's one I forgot to watch.
I loved... Oh, come on. Don't worry about it. Anyway, we'll watch that together later. Yeah. That was really, really awesome. We watched the teaser together, right? At the beginning, on the night back then.
Yeah.
That was really cool. There's one point where everyone got sucked into a tornado, and there's fucking helicopters just like, oh, what the fuck? I was like, that's great. I got to witness that.
But again...
Multi-platform. Again. That's the thing. Xbox can put on a good show.
Yeah.
It's just not the Xbox show. It's the multi-platform show.
I think you can kind of tell it's in their language, right? Sony shows off their games, the games that you're going to get to play on the PlayStation, and because
they do show other games, calm down,
right?
Fanboy,
but they're never like, it's not all in through their language of like exclusive launch on console launch or all that stuff, right? Because they have stuff that they're bringing to you,
yeah,
and because at least my perception is that there isn't that much. And not that much that can kind of compete with like your God of Wars and Last of Us and stuff, that then they have to like kind of try and trick you with the language. And I feel like that is kind of a symptom of the problem that we're always talking about.
Yeah.
You know?
people.
I really want Halo and Fable and stuff to change that. I hope that's the case, but
I know by the time, I think it might be over 700 days since Xbox had an actual exclusive on their console. By the time Halo comes out, which is a damn thing to. It's a damn thing to think
I will
about,
say,
really.
if it's what I would call like a real Halo,
Make up for it.
it will carry 700 days.
Good
I
stuff.
really mean that. Like,
People
it can
will
be that
forget
good.
about it. That's the thing. If
Yeah.
it's a good game, they'll just be like, "That's it. The drought is over, guys. We're
Exactly.
done." Battlefield 6, 12 minutes with the new
Yeah.
voice actors: Willem Dafoe, Daisy Ridley, James McAvoy. That looked really, really good,
That I'm genuinely keen for.
and it's multi-platform as well.
Yeah.
We don't know when it's going to come, but 25th of August is when it comes out to Xbox.
That's funny as well, because the last E3, I want to say, or the last Xbox event, they showed it there. We presumed it was Xbox only.
Yeah. It's the way that Xbox
Yeah.
showcases roll.
Yeah.
They just make it seem like it. Doom Eternal gets a next-gen update on all
Sick.
platforms.
Sick.
4K, 60 FPS, ray tracing. For some reason, the Xbox Series S can only do 1080p 60 FPS with ray tracing.
Oh, no, like a next gen. Oh, never mind.
Whatever.
Anyway, it's a
Again,
good thing that cross-platform games here at the Xbox event.
good stuff, right?
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
Anyway, people aren't buying the S for the performance. They're just trying to cash in on a cheaper console. Fallout 76 update, Steel Rain.
Sick.
On 7th of July, and there's going to be an update in the future called The Pit 2022. Elder Scrolls Online current gen update. You're going to get an update for current gen. Party animal gameplay. Now, this looked like, there was that fighting game of these, like, they're almost like marshmallow guys, and like you can grab people, throw people off the map and stuff like that. It was that, but animals.
Okay.
Totally cute and totally awesome. Would be a great stream game sometime.
Exactly the kind of game we'd be down to jam.
Great stuff right there.
Yeah, that genuinely sounds good.
Hades, an advert.
What?
There was nothing. It wasn't like next gen update. It wasn't like re-release.
They just showed Hades.
I don't know if this is a thing because I didn't check this, but it just showed an Xbox box art. Is it the physical release? Maybe. I was just like,
Been a while since I've been keen enough on Xbox to really like. Maybe people know the Xbox code and I'm missing something, but I don't know.
I was gonna say, I'm sure even people who are fans of Xbox, they're not gonna be like, I follow every release that came out, and Hades wasn't one of them. So I'm gonna. No, I know.
I'll say that likely this is not you. So you've watched a few Square Enix things, and like a lot of the JRPG games.
Yeah.
And that world has its own language,
Ah.
and same for like Kingdom Hearts and stuff. We've seen it, and you're like, quality of life update, and you're like, are you going to tell us? Like, no, they just tell you. They just say that, right? It's just the way that
We have to call up Katie afterwards. What the fuck did they mean?
I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm one of those losers. It's like, oh my god, quality of life updates. Don't know what it means, but like, you just get hyped for it. This is, I don't think that, right? I think you're like right to be like, I don't know what's going on.
I don't get it.
Yeah.
A game called Somerville. We got gameplay of
Yeah.
this. Yeah?
Yeah.
That looked really good, and I
Yeah.
was interested.
Yeah.
It was just a man, a wife, and his son, I think it was,
Something like
and a
that.
dog.
Yeah.
And it seemed like aliens were like attacking the planet, but it was very like somber, and the art style was very like you're very far away from the people, and they're like it's almost 2D, but there's like a 3D depth element to it. And like one scene, like the dog was on the floor. It looked like it was under some rubble or something like that. I was like, oh my god, this game might have some
pull
heart.
John Wick on these aliens. Yeah.
Mate.
Yeah.
Anyway, it looked really good. I
Xbox
was super
exclusive.
interested in that. Timed exclusive. That one, I was super interested from the beginning because it said Somerville, and I was like, Smallville? I was like,
No, you didn't, and you totally did as well.
I did. You
You
can ask
totally
everyone in
did,
the chat. Halo campaign. We got the CG trailer.
Yeah.
No gameplay, but they reaffirmed that they are coming out on fall 2021. So
I mean, also
they're
we've seen
confident at least in that.
one thing. I'll say is because we saw the multiplayer footage.
Yeah.
Right, that we know sort of what it looks like. Also, I know all of those. Most of those maps are not like new, which is a good thing. It's like all my favorite old maps. The thing is, we know what the Spartans are going to look like. We know what they're going to move like. We know what the graphics, roughly speaking, look like. We know how that hook's going to work now, which looks way better than the early build stuff we saw. So now it's just map design, really, that we haven't seen, and the story to play out. But they're never going to show us the story.
Yeah.
Maybe get the first 10 minutes. They never show the full story.
I just needed something, man. I feel like
I
it's
feel
dinner.
you.
We've had this conversation, but yeah.
I'm just trying to build the case for why I'm okay. And I'm, once again, hopeful. But we'll see.
We'll see.
I'm going to start
We'll see.
following the 343 devs. Hold on.
Just do it from now.
Yeah.
Schedule a bunch of tweets. Halo multiplayer is going free to play. The gameplay, they showed gameplay and it looked fantastic.
Yeah.
High octane. It was very, very cool.
It did look good.
Coming fall 2021, free to play on all
Emphasis on the
platforms
come.
other than obviously PlayStation, stuff like that.
Timed exclusive to Xbox.
Timed exclusive to Xbox.
Could you imagine?
That would be mad. That would be mad. Diablo 2 Resurrected. It was obviously a
And it's an
remaster
update.
of a
That's it.
2.
Remaster.
We got gameplay of it, 23rd of August 2021. A Plague's Tale Requiem. We got a CG trailer, no gameplay, 2022. That's a multi-platform game. If you played the Plague's Tale games before, apparently it's quite good.
I heard
says
they're
it's
good, yeah.
Ben says it's good.
I bet
we
you'd
got-
like it. Apparently, it's Souls-like.
I'm not sure.
I don't know.
I don't know anything
But
about it,
again,
literally.
cross-platform, CG trailer.
Yeah.
CG trailer, there's nothing wrong with a CG trailer, but like, mostly I need to see something from the game, unless it's Halo, to get me excited.
That's the thing. Most of the other games on here do have gameplay.
Yeah.
But they're all like multi-platform games or timed
Right.
exclusive games, which shows that they know that when you're going to show something, you show something.
Yeah.
The fact that Xbox didn't know that is really troubling to me.
It's a bit worrying, right?
Isn't it? Far Cry 6 was shown. Slime Rancher gameplay. Go on.
Can we talk about Far Cry 6?
Go ahead.
Because it's relevant to this. Looked graphically trash.
Yes.
Can we say it was a game that I was really excited for from the CG trailer.
Yeah.
I'm a huge Juan Carlo Despacito
Juan
fan.
Carlo.
I think it's actually Giancarlo.
Jan.
but,
Yeah.
Huge fan of, like, genuinely a huge fan of his, and not just because he was Gus in Breaking Bad. Really keen about it. Compared to games that came out, very recently on like the PlayStation, like even Ratchet and Clank, which is a childish, like cartoony kind of looking game.
Yeah.
Man, it looks rough.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
It came out as well. They showed the reveal. The first.
That's
not
not
the
an Xbox
trailer,
dig,
but
by the way. That's a Far Cry 6 dig.
Not the trailer, but the first reveal they did afterwards of like gameplay and stuff like
Yeah.
that came out around about the time as Horizon Forbidden West came out,
Yeah.
and the stark contrast
Rough, innit?
between, and you can't even say that's a PS5 game. It was like, Grant was on PS5,
Yeah.
but that's a cross-gen game. This is a cross-gen game, and the difference was like, nah.
It looked like the Horizon Forbidden West in-game, in-engine gameplay
Yeah.
outperformed their cutscenes almost.
Yeah.
Like it.
Or their CG trailer promotional
Right.
material.
So Horizon looks incredible,
Yeah.
but again, I have same concerns about Aloy, but that wasn't here, so we'll skip past that. But
Yeah.
Far Cry
Looking
could have been
bad.
an interesting one. Looks trash.
Yeah.
Which
and
I
also
hope-
Ubisoft.
I'm actually glad that it looks bad, by the way, because now we don't. It was going to be one of those things from like, I'm going to have to buy a Ubisoft game, even if I buy it secondhand, which is the way I recommend if you did want to get their games.
Mhm.
But then they'll still be able to use it like on MPD. Like how many people online?
Yeah, then exactly. They'll know how many people are playing online
Right.
and whatnot.
And I'm glad now that it looks trash, so I don't
Yeah.
have to get it. Sorry, Giancarlo.
Slime Rancher gameplay. We got gameplay of it, 2022 timed exclusive. This is a very strange one. It was very cartoony, almost like Fall Guys looking.
Yeah.
And these people are like collecting. He's got like a little like turret
Yeah.
gun, collecting resources, but then he like feeds it to marshmallows in a pen, and then the
Yeah.
marshmallows get bigger. And I'm like, I'm sold. I don't know what it is, but I'm
Right.
sold.
It's like a paintball version of Hungry Hungry Hippos or something. Yeah.
I was like, I don't know what it is. Ben again said he played the first one. He was like, I'm cool. I'm done. I want to play this.
That reminds me. I saw Ben Modorox tweeting that like what
I
he
was
saw
thinking of
from
a different Ben, but don't.
Well, Ben,
too many
there's
Bens.
But he was saying that this event had given him confidence to stay with Game Pass.
Yeah.
So I'm actually glad for that. Like, I'm happy that people that have the service are happy with it. I don't think you're getting the best service for your money. I think there's better stuff. I think the PS Plus collection, all that stuff. But they are happy, and that's the important thing.
I was gonna
So-
say that as a person, if you had Game Pass, knowing that all of these are coming to Game Pass day, I think 27 of them
Yeah.
coming to Game Pass day one,
Yeah.
is a cool concept because then you get to play all of them day one. Now, I personally don't think you're going to be playing all of these.
No.
You're probably going to play like 5 of them, but still, that's 5. You're still getting paid 5 games.
And
Now
then
that's
you'll go
going to
back
be
to those titles that you continuously play anyway, back
Exactly.
to Assassin's Creed. But
now they might be, especially our community. they may be spread out as well over a year, and you may want
Yeah.
to think about how much then that costs you to play those
Right.
5 games. But that's for you to decide. As long as you're happy with what you're doing, I don't feel that way.
Right.
I don't feel that way. That's the reason why we're not there. But,
I'm happy you guys are happy.
yeah.
I would say if I'm glad for that. I do think if you were like, guys, I've got the money and I've managed to like get both in the basket, which console should I buy? It gotta be the PlayStation 5. I'm sorry, like Game Pass is cool and all that, but it's like it's not enough. The quality of games on the PS Plus collection, blah blah blah. But if you're already on the Xbox and you have it and you're happy with it, that's brilliant. I don't think it's good enough to get you to specifically buy one or choose the PlayStation or choose the Xbox over the PlayStation. But I'm glad the guys that have it are enjoying it, and this is a good thing. Not for the devs. It's not really pro consumer, but
We'll see how much they're paying them. We never know. We're never going to know how much they pay them. But
Yeah.
Also, I had a point. It
Yeah,
was
also-
going to be
yeah, also
about
Game Pass,
buying the games,
playing the
buying
game.
the
the
consoles.
devs don't get so much
It
money.
slipped from me. It slipped from me.
We'll go on, and you can just insert it at the absolute worst moment.
Randomly pop it in.
Yeah,
somewhere.
no lube, just stick it in.
Just stick it in. The next game, Shredders, which is basically SSX snowboarding game, basically.
yeah,
It's not for me, but it's good for people who want to do that. Another timed exclusive
I actually
2021.
really liked those old games as
Yeah.
SSX games. I will say, with a name like Shredders, this should be a TMNT game. I'm genuinely pissed that we don't have a current gen. TMNT would bang now. The one was the
Much better that they do a random snowboarding game than do anything
And-
with any sort of nostalgia like that.
right. And please, do games with no movies. Just trust me.
Trust me on this one. It's not going to work out for you.
Yeah.
I've been to the future. I know. Atomic Heart. This
Yeah.
one had a gameplay, no release date. It's
Yeah.
multi-platform. Looks freaky as hell. It's sort of like whenever you have Atomic in the name, you always know it's
Of
going to be
course.
kind of like Russian with a bit of a bulky machinery that's
Yeah,
kind of
yeah, yeah.
futuristic, but for the 80s almost, something like that.
Yeah, like steampunk robo suit type thing.
Yeah. And in this, there was 2 of these mannequins essentially,
Right.
And they had like mannequin faces, but they were like robots,
Nightmare Fuel, yeah.
and they were like ninja robots, but they were fighting you, and they looked like mannequins.
Sick.
So like the guy would come up to you and be like, and I was like, "Please don't attack! What? Can I go away?"
I will tell you,
And there was a grandma in it for some reason. I don't know what it was.
the only thing that actually like genuinely scared me playing Control is in one of the DLCs. I think there is a mannequin mission, and one of the objects is a mannequin. And I don't know if you noticed this, but when you run and turn around, the mannequins are facing you, and then you'll go out the door, and you come back, and they're facing out the door. Nightmare Fuel. So the mannequin thing's super creepy.
Reminds me of Doctor Who.
I do think it's really odd though that you would get gameplay footage but no release date, and then release dates but no gameplay footage. What's up with that?
Mate, you know, if you do gameplay but no release date, all right, you're not that far in. You're trying to tease. It seems a bit early to be teased, in my opinion.
I prefer that
no
way around
problem
as well. Yeah.
But if you're confident enough to put a release date on something, but you haven't got gameplay,
you got nothing to show for it.
Starfield, for example,
Right.
they give the release date this time, and I'm like,
But what is it?
but what is it? So,
What is it?
I don't get it.
Yeah, the worst
That's
thing
weird.
is, my big concern is that because it is suddenly now sci-fi, they're going to try and compete with like Mass Effect.
Yeah,
You can't.
nah, it's a bad thing.
It's a bad idea.
Bad
It's,
thing to do.
it's not going to work.
Do you know what? I remembered that point, but then I lost it again.
Oh no, you didn't. No.
It will come back to me if it came back to me once. Replaced. We got gameplay for this.
Yeah.
2021 timed exclusive. That actually looked really cool. I have to try and explain it to you. It's the characters
Yeah.
and a few of the elements in the scene are all 2D, and they're almost like low resolution, not pixel art, but low resolution.
Yeah.
And they move around. You do everything like that. The camera is super far out and low to the ground. There's this cool depth of field as you're looking at this high quality ground as you goes up to it, high quality buildings and backgrounds, but like pixel art thing. And it's almost like everything else is 3D, but the people exist on one 2D plane in the middle.
Right.
It's super cool and super awesome. If anyone hasn't seen it, go check it out. I like the look of it. nothing more I can really say to it. It seemed very 80s vibed as well.
I dig the old 80s vibes for sure.
Good stuff. There was like some glow neon and things
Talking
like that.
about 80s vibes. By the way, we have merch.
There you
we
go.
Never pimp that.
It was really cool. I like look at that.
I think using iconic looks and making stuff that isn't like mainstream. Like we always talk about
Before I forget, it's come back to me. I don't want to forget it again. So yeah, the thing about buying the Xbox and whatnot.
Yeah.
So people in our community were saying like, I finally feel like I have a reason to buy an Xbox, and I was like, those games you saw are cool, and when they come out, they will be cool, but they're not coming out soon.
Yes.
So there's no reason to buy an Xbox right now.
Yeah,
still.
wait for them to drop in price, come down to like $399.
You've probably still got until next E3 before any of this stuff gets even shown off even more.
I think so. Yeah.
If you're a Halo fan, then that's coming out right now. Then you have to do that.
I'm gonna wait. By the way,
but other than that, you might as well wait.
I've been talking about Halo since you've known me.
Yeah.
And on the show, anytime it comes up, and even then, I'm gonna wait a solid 2 weeks. See what the salty opinions are. See what the positive opinions are. Watch some gameplay. Like, I'm still waiting. So
yeah. Anyway, sorry I shoved that in there, but I just didn't want to forget for the third time.
That's cool. It's cool.
The next thing, Grounded, that game that came out before, that was an update for that. It's a funny game. The announcer and the people who clearly have a sense of humor.
Yeah,
it's really cool. They've got regular sized spiders, but the whole idea is that you're a little person.
Tiny, yeah. And
you go into like a den, and there's a spider, and it's gigantic. And they go, but don't worry, if you've got a fear of spiders, there's an arachnophobia mode, and there's a slider. You turn it down of how scary you want it to look.
Right.
And if you turn it all the way down, it just becomes a blob. It's not even got legs or anything. It's just a circle blob. Grounded, right, in arachnophobia mode or something like that. Which arachnophobia, great, easy to spell.
Yeah. Do you know, these things. Oh my god, yeah.
That's it. It's just a blob.
Yeah. That is so ridiculous.
And the way they said,
it's kind of cute as well.
Yeah, they're like, it's arachnophobia mode, and I'm like, that's hilarious. Perfect for me.
I do. Does it turn all the way up from like arachnophobia, hey, you're safe, to like shit your pants?
I think it is that way.
Demon spider.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
When it first came out, it was the demon spider, and I was like, nah, I'm not even.
That's a big no from you.
And then he's like, but don't worry, if you got a fear of spider, I was like, oh, it's like he spoke directly to me.
Right.
The next one, Among Us is coming to Xbox August 15th.
Cool.
I'm going to try and pronounce this. I don't know how to say this. Eden Chronicle Rising.
Yeah.
Coming.
Sounds perfect.
We've got gameplay of it, multi-platform. I don't believe I saw a date on that one. The Ascent, 2022, timed exclusive. We didn't get gameplay on that. Age of Empires 4, we got gameplay, 20th of October, Xbox exclusive.
Cool.
The Outer Worlds 2, we got the CG trailer, no gameplay, no release date, just the title screen, Xbox exclusive.
Yeah.
The trailer was at least funny because, again, they were another one that had a sense of humor. They were like, "Brom! When you hear that noise in a trailer, you know there is something cool coming."
Right.
And then it goes, and then we zoom out to the silhouette of the main character, but that's because the designers haven't finalized the final design yet.
Right.
And I was
perfect.
Funny. I like it. Good stuff.
Outer Worlds had a really good vibe, but not enough to get me to get it, you know?
And do you know what's
I feel
really
like
weird?
I've played that game before.
That's the thing. They're made by the people who made Fallout New Vegas.
Yeah.
What's funny is that they left to make their own game.
Yeah.
And it's basically Fallout, the game. But just like more colorful. And now they're back in bought with, because Xbox bought them, and now they've bought Bethesda. So now they're back in the same place that they were before. I wonder if they'll just go, do you guys just want to make Fallout New Vegas too? Do you guys just want to do that?
Or just remake New Vegas?
They're probably doing their own thing now, and they probably don't want to go back.
Yeah.
But,
I was just like thinking about New Vegas.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Flight Simulator, Microsoft Flight Simulator is coming to Xbox.
Only the Series X, because I bet the S can't.
It would just burn on fire, right?
Yeah, there were people like burning out like high tier gaming rigs. You know, in fairness, trying to play it on the absolute max of everything, but still, like,
what happens if we turn this to 18K and 4 million frames? It's a meltdown.
Oh, look at that!
I need a new graphics card. 27th of July, and apparently there's a Top Gun update as well. They got a fighter and it's like Maverick on his head and everything.
Okay,
it was good fun.
Okay, cool.
People were like, as well as flying to your house in Microsoft Flight Simulator, you can bomb your house in Microsoft Flight Simulator. And I was like, good stuff, guys.
I'm gonna 9/11 my own house.
We should definitely say that on YouTube.
Yeah. Just chuck in a Death to the West and you're all good. Yeah,
that's cool. That's fine. That's cool.
Yeah,
that's
fine.
okay.
That one's fine.
But the other one,
I said it, not you.
That's
so it's
it.
fine. It's okay.
Exactly. Forza Horizon 5, we got an extended gameplay demo of this.
Horizon, I'm triggered. Is Aloy in it?
Aloy's in it. Oh my god, we got him, guys. We got him. Okay, calm down. It's okay. So I need the racing game. It's coming out 9th of November. It looks gorgeous.
Forza always looks incredible.
Racing games seem to be easier, I think, but Forza always looks great. And
it's
they
not
showed
because there's no faces in it.
Must be something, right? Or maybe
and
there's
no
a lot of
biological
blur.
movement.
Maybe.
Yeah, probably a lot of motion blur.
Static brown.
But they always look good. Even this is the thing though, because like I have no idea. I'm completely ignorant on game development, but I feel like because there's not so many moving parts in a way that like they can just take all of that power that would normally have to move like a body and random faces and all that stuff, and just make it look good. Turn it all to textures, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So Forza always looks good, yeah.
It looked good. There was a gameplay demo, which I appreciated. It was like an extended gameplay demo.
Yeah.
It did go a little bit too long. I mean, it wasn't... Not everyone's a racing person, so... In fact, not even I am.
Definitely not our cup of tea. Yeah.
But I like to see it, and it was good looking. Was one hitch, however, after the fact I found out that apparently they go, the stunning cars you can see, this brand new... Mercedes AMG blah 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 you can see with stunning ray tracing, and I was like, that car looks gorgeous, and in ray tracing it looks even more gorgeous right now. And then I found out that apparently you can ray tracing is only in their Forza Vista mode,
right,
which is essentially a garage where you keep your cars.
What's the point then?
So you can go in there and have a look at them and how gorgeous they are, but then the second you go and play a game, it's like no ray tracing off.
I can see 4K video of actual cars though. And that's 4K video. So what's the... Ratchet & Clank does 60 FPS with like minor ray tracing. It's like performance RT. The
ray tracing actually is full, but they turn down the resolution slightly.
Right,
I think it's something like 180 instead of 2000.
By the way, it's still incredible.
I can't tell the difference.
It's amazing. And Horizon's going to have sound ray tracing.
Audio
ray tracing.
It's funny, and it's
weird.
Going to be 30 FPS at 4K as well, so not even 60. I don't know. It seems weird. This is an odd anomaly because the Xbox Series X is powerful, and it's their own game.
It's conventionally powerful as well.
So they should be able to optimize it perfectly for it.
It's conventionally powerful. This is an in-house dev group. Who this is all they make, and for just this console and on PC, like they should be able to wring everything out of it.
And this is the odd one. It's just like, nah.
Yeah.
We've had other games that are like 4K, 120 even, something like that. Maybe not 4K. I can't remember.
Maybe it's to do with... I was going to say like the level of texturing, but then that's sort of the whole point of the racing game, of Forza in particular. I don't know.
Weird one.
Maybe there's a good reason. Let's choose to believe there's a good reason.
Choose to believe, yes. And then the final trailer, it was a CG trailer, no gameplay, of a game called Redfall. This is the one with the vampires and... people with powers.
Is this the Masquerade?
No, it's not Masquerade Bloodlines. It's coming completely different. We don't know anything about it. I think this was the Arcane one that I was mixing up before.
Okay.
We don't know anything from it. It literally was just that trailer. There was a woman with an afro in it, so we're like, Sheps is going to be really into it.
I found my new background. Yeah.
But again, we didn't know anything of it, and that was kind of what bugged me. I was like, we didn't see anything. Yeah, and that was everything from the Xbox game conference. Do you have any feelings, closing thoughts about that?
Because this is... How did you feel about it? You got to experience this whole thing live as an event. I went back and watched specific things to catch up. Obviously, there's no way I'm skipping a Halo, right? Yeah. How did you feel about it? Because also, like, for example, just to like seed the ground, we watched the first Summer Games Fest thing together. Yeah. The event was trash. Yep. But we had a good time because we were hanging out. It was us. We had the boys. We created a whole new meme.
Yeah.
Fuck you, Sean. That's your meme. Nah. Sean and D created a meme. It was still good fun. I had fun, but the event was trash.
Yeah.
How did you feel about the event streaming it, sit on your own, all that stuff. How was the showmanship?
I don't think the show was trash.
Yeah,
I think it was better than anything we've had before.
However,
However,
it was that good of an Xbox event?
no, not
You mean in this current last
in this
2
current
weeks?
thing.
Yeah, okay, cool.
People were like, "This is the best show that Xbox has ever put on." I was like, "You don't remember 2018 then?
Yeah, 2018 was incredible.
You don't remember Keanu Reeves just popping up on that
my
stage?" So
days,
2019 was one of those
Whichever,
ones.
yeah.
You don't remember Keanu Reeves the way he popped up on that thing, and everyone
You're
shat their
breathtaking.
fucking pants.
It was sick, yeah.
Okay, you don't remember that. This is not the best event. But it was the best event that we've had so far out of E3 and Summer Game Fest.
Yeah, I mean,
And
low bar, but yeah.
Exactly. And I think that's why people thought it was amazing.
Okay.
Because we'd been beaten down and then we were given a cracker.
Yeah,
it's like,
yeah.
it's the best cracker I've ever had in my life.
Yeah. Someone takes your lunch and gives you something back, and you thank them for giving you your own apple back. Yeah.
Thank you so much. And as I said, there were peaks, but overall, the lack of proper gameplay from Xbox's own studios to give me confidence to buy an Xbox console was not there.
Yeah.
And I just felt like it was a bad show. There was a lot of third-party games, and people are equating the show and all of the games that were shown like third-party games in Xbox's show as Xbox did a good job. They played the video, man. That's all they did. Hit play button. That doesn't count for you.
What?
Otherwise, fuck it. You know what? We'll just get all of the third-party games, put them in an unnamed show, and then you'll be like, unnamed show had the best show.
Right.
Doesn't mean anything.
It's funny. It's weird because...
And I'm not saying that PlayStation as well. PlayStation have third-party games as well.
Yeah, of course.
Far less, in my opinion. I feel like they try to push their own shit a lot more, or exclusive parts to other games they've got. But that's not why... When you go to a Sony event, we don't come out of it and go... Man,
those third-party titles.
Call of Duty was we don't go. Call of Duty was great. PlayStation's doing a good job. Right. We say, COD's doing a good thing. New thing they've done in there, but God of War. That's what we talk about. We don't say PlayStation.
That's the thing. It also looks like I feel like, because I haven't actually counted, that Sony don't do anywhere near as many third-party things, and that the first-party stuff. I know it's not going to be a surprise to anyone that at least currently, right now, PlayStation is leading the way with it. It's not even Xbox admits it, right? They know that's why they did that internal report. So I just, in my opinion, I don't think you expect to see COD, right? Because Activision is putting out that much. It's marketing expense from Activision. It's nothing to do with Xbox. It's nothing to do with Sony. Activision wants to get the game in front of your eyes. So I think, what happens when we take out the third-party titles? Yeah. How much is there to show? And then, okay, what about updates? Let's take those out because we've already got the game.
Yeah.
How much is there to show? And I understand, look, the Xbots are going to say, you're just trying to stack the deck so Xbox looks bad. Well, what are they giving me that's new that I don't already have?
Yeah.
Right? And I'll allow you, big, remakes. Halo Legendary. I'll call that a new game.
Yeah.
I'm okay to do that. So how much have we got to show from Xbox? It doesn't feel like a lot.
Yeah.
Bizarrely, I'm hopeful for once because of Halo. And with Halo and Fable, suddenly I feel like Xbox is back in the race. They're nowhere near the front, but they're back in the race.
Yeah. They're a contender. They're not they're worth mentioning.
They're not a pity party.
Yeah.
They're not just there to stack the days for numbers, right?
Yeah.
But they got to perform, and we have to see stuff.
Yeah.
And things like, so for example, even if we didn't get a gameplay demo from Horizon Forbidden West, we've got Horizon Zero Dawn, so we know what's coming. Yeah, we know what the game's roughly going to look like.
Yeah,
but because even though we know what the company has made in the past, we don't know anything from
Gorilla.
What's the name of the game? It's disappeared. Starfield.
Starfield.
Yeah,
just Starfeed.
I went Starfall, you went Starfeed.
Starfield.
Even though, look, we know what Gorilla's made in the past, but we don't have Starfield.
Sorry, Gorilla made in the past. You're talking about Horizon, right?
No, sorry, I got mixed up.
We've fucked ourselves up here.
I was comparing
and Starfield and Gorilla.
I was comparing Starfield to Horizon, and then I got messed up with who's making what. Because we've seen Horizon Forbidden West, we know, even if we hadn't seen gameplay, what We know what the second Horizon is going to look like. My God, I'm messing this up, right?
We're too many names.
But because Starfield is a brand new title, even though we know what the company's made in the past, we can't be certain what it's going to look like. We can't be certain what mechanics it's going to be. If we're following a protagonist or a group, is it multiple? We don't know. And that's why I'm less excited for something like Starfield than I would be for Horizon, even though we not seen any gameplay, right? And we have seen gameplay. It looks pretty good.
Yeah.
I just feel like Xbox aren't bringing the heat. Maybe that's because they're phoning it in this year. I actually am of the opinion that they're trying to get through this first year so that they can start bringing out next-gen only games.
Right.
Because I think that they know they shot themselves in the foot with everything we can bring out is going to go on both things. Except that, for them, it was like a graze.
Yeah.
Because they weren't bringing much out.
They weren't bringing any games out, yeah.
And it was mostly a punt to see if they could mess with PlayStation, and they did. And I think they're trying to get through that to the point where more Xboxes are in people's hands, and then in 2022 they can be like, coming to your Xbox Series X and Series S.
Yeah.
This thing that we finally have to show because we've burnt 1.5, 2 years to get to this point, and now there's enough out there.
Yeah.
I think that's the play they're going with. Smart business move, but it means that this year everything sucks. And I do think it sucked. They're great at showmanship.
That's what they're good at.
Well, until you see Sony,
until you see someone else who can really do it properly.
It's because
Sony's lost a bit of the showmanship because they're no longer doing like the in-person stuff.
Yeah,
it's all like state of play, and I'm like, I hate the faceless voice thing. I like.
But they have substance. We get titles that we know. We get that. There's meat and potatoes to it.
Anyway, there's a whole lot to this, and there's a lot of frustration. That leads down to why we think this event is pretty bad, and this whole E3's being pretty bad.
E3 sucked. Summer Games Fest has sucked. It's kind of disappointing.
Speaking of Summer Game Fest, let's talk about that and all the announcements that came out there. Again, I think this sucked. Unfortunately, Jeff, you've given us 2 shows that I don't think were good.
Yeah, I agree.
So I think we know the trend now. When it comes to next year, I don't think I can be excited for what you're going to show.
Yeah.
I might be excited for the 1 or 2 things that might pop up in your show, but it's not going to be like before. We're like, Summer Game Fest.
Well, we got to turn
like
up to every event. Maybe it'll be incredible. The first one, it was trash. This one, you kicked it off the most. You got to start strong. You started hella's weak, bruh.
It started with Tiny Tina's Wonderland, which isn't a Borderlands sequel or spin-off.
No, not at all, yeah.
But if you're new to the franchise, it's a good place to jump in.
So it is. Right, exactly. Ridiculous. It's got half the name in the name.
Exactly. And it's got the character...
And Tiny Tina.
Anyway, that's coming out. We got Metal Slug Tactics, and then... Jurassic World Evolution 2. We got Death Stranding, the director's cut.
Yeah.
I was super hyped about that. And I can't believe I called that.
You did.
Hashtag Eddie was right.
Did we just do a super microdose of acid when that happened? Because that was cracked out.
The guy standing there, he goes, it's like, these guys in here that look like Master Chief armor, like you were saying.
With Predator dreadlocks. It was weird, yeah.
He looks over at a hole and there's a rat goes into a hole over there. Then he turns around, there's a box. Empties the box, it's got oranges in it.
Of course it's got oranges, yeah.
And then he puts it on the ground. Turns it upside down. Turns it back.
Gets into it like a cat.
Gets into it. Gets out. Puts the box back on the shelf. Death Stranding director's cut. And I'm like... Alright, where's my wallet? Alright, where we at, boys? Okay, here we go.
I really hope...
I don't get what it is.
I really hope... Do you know what's funny? Because we were just saying how, Starfield, we don't know what it is. If you hadn't played Death Stranding, you didn't know Kojima. What is it?
Someone said to me, they were like, you got hyped to Death Stranding and whatnot. And I was like, first of all, I got hyped after seeing trailers. And I was hyped because I was excited because of how stupidly weird and confusing everything is.
Also, you have an entire game that you've already played that this is an addition to.
With also, no, they were talking about the first one they were saying.
Okay.
And I was like, yeah, I was excited because I want to experience something that's completely cracked out and that's like nothing we've ever played before. Yeah.
It's like a FIFA
After
dream.
trailers, I've seen it. I can be excited. It's not like they went, Death Stranding, right, see you later. And I went, woo!
Yeah, like they show the beach with the branding. And you're like, oh my god, I've got to play it.
Oh, here we go, guys. I was like, wait,
Also,
beaches?
I remember when we saw that first cutscene where he's on the bike, he jumps the gap, and some rain touches his hand, and we were like, what is going on? And we were like, this is an interesting... Whatever this concept is, an interesting idea, but we got to see what the game looks like.
Yeah.
So it's not like this is new.
Anyway, that came out.
Yeah.
We got Lost Ark gameplay trailer.
Yeah.
We got Call of Duty Season 4 Warzone trailer. We got Among Us. We got Salt Sacrifice, Solar Ash, which I can't believe you don't know about game design because
Honestly,
Solar Ash is going to be one of the
it.
best games ever. It's going to have the best bisexual romance options,
really?
better than Valhalla and Odyssey. So just learn game design, kid.
First of all, well done. Did you memorize that?
No, that's not the full thing. People are going to be like, oh, Eddie, you missed out this bit. But those are the core bits. And people posted it so much in the streams that it's just ingrained in my head now.
Also, I hate you all.
We got to see some...
Yeah.
half a second of Valorant.
Yes, yeah.
It was just this head.
Yeah.
That was it.
Also...
don't know what that means.
I don't care about some new character coming into
Was it even that though? Is this a character that's there or not? That I don't know.
I'm also gonna say, like, it just feels like an Overwatch power version of CS:GO, which looked dated back in the like early 2000s. I don't care for these sorts of games. Like, it just is not my thing.
We saw Escape from Tarkov is
couldn't care less. Yeah,
couldn't get. Well, I don't know. I don't know too much about it, but it's all right. It looks realistic. That's what it's supposed to be. I think it's supposed to be like
Escape from
hardcore
Tarkov,
realism.
Yes.
2 Points Campus. It's just like a sim, basically building stuff. Stranger Things coming to Smite.
Sick.
We're all happy about that, guys.
Oh
We're
my
excited
God,
for that, boys.
Cool.
A game called Painkiller from People Can Fly. We got Anarchrius. I don't remember that game.
Nope.
Fast and Furious cars coming to Rocket League.
That actually, I'm kind of.
I was like, shit, I want
down
about
for,
Fast and Furious car. Blood Hunt, House of Ashes, Tales of Arise, Sky Little Princess Season, Planet of Lana, Overwatch 2, some hinted stuff like that in that.
Yeah.
Monster Hunter Stories, Endless Dungeon, Nearskin coming to Fall Guys.
Yes.
So there's going to be even more Rule 34 now of Fall Guys.
Fall Guys has R34.
Of Fall Guys.
God.
I mean, I'm up to date. I'm up to date. I'll keep that. Deviation Games, game company, announced that they've got a partnership with PlayStation.
Sick.
Don't know what they're going to be making, but they said their new project is going to be working with PlayStation. So we'll see what the hell happens there.
We can get hyped for this.
True.
Just like Starfield, right?
We saw the logo for the studio, so that's good enough.
Good enough.
Good enough. Apparently, the guys are ex Call of Duty guys as well in there. So, but then again, like, that doesn't mean you make a Call of Duty level game.
There's been a bunch of trash Call of Duties as well. And those teams they've gone through so many people. Like, if it was like...
Everyone is an ex Call of Duty dev now.
Right. And what did they do?
Yeah.
We don't know. Like,
I got people coffee.
right. Well, if he's the guy that's responsible for the dust effect every time one of your teammates runs and you see it on their feet, like, that... It's not a lie. It doesn't make him a great dev. I'm not saying that.
Burn on the dust effect devs. Burn on you. Shep's
like,
just calling you out. You're not a real dev.
So, just like because you worked on a game doesn't necessarily make you good at your job. You know, that's all I'm saying.
Back for Blood. That was the trailer. Same trailer we got at the Xbox One. There was a demo for the ID at Xbox event, and it had that game Turmeric.
Yeah, Turmeric. That's right.
Turmeric, that's his official name.
Killed me.
Tribes of Midgard, Evil Dead the game, which actually did look good.
That did look good, yeah.
And the final one to bookend everything. Elden Ring is real. It's a real game, guys.
And we know that because we saw some gameplay.
Yes.
Actual gameplay of the game. That's how you know the game exists and what it's about.
We saw the game and it's a real thing. Personally, I don't think it looks too graphically gorgeous or anything like that.
It looks a bit dated.
But in terms of the whole like Souls-like games and Soulsborne games that has those types of enemies, I think that looked really nice and really, really cool.
I'll tell you what,
that was all.
It looked like a new From Software game.
Yeah.
You know, that like the next one that they're making.
I didn't get the George R. Martin vibes from it.
I don't know what that's about. Well, maybe because it's all half those stories or more of it's all in writing, so that's it. I think I knew exactly who had made it and what the game was like from watching it, and that's kind of a very important thing. I'm not into the Souls games and stuff, so probably a no from me. I probably will skip it. But you guys and all the dudes that are in, and like Katie and Ben,
We're
all those
into
guys,
punishing ourselves,
right? They immediately were like, "This looks amazing." Just because it doesn't look graphically incredible, neither does Minecraft. But it's people that if you like it, man, and it looks like it's a good version of that kind of game. So
I'm looking to get this game and maybe get the platinum somewhere around about 6 years again, like Bloodborne,
nice and
something
quick.
like that.
Yeah, sick.
Could be good. And then I'll get Katie and Sean to help me, and I'll claim that they didn't.
Well, so this is the only prediction I really care about in gaming.
Yeah,
I want to hear what you think of the party system, what it's going to be like in Elden Ring.
God, if it's the same bullshit party system, I'm gonna throw hands. I'm gonna throw hands, bitch. Fucking hell. And then the other event that we watched, the Square Enix event, that was yesterday as well, late afterwards. I was about to end the stream and they were like, no, we're here, go and watch the next one, it's in 45 minutes. And we watched it. And my God, what bastards you were, because it was an awful, awful event and I wasted my time. Thank you, Katie, and thank you, Oscar Morgan, thank you, Alfie, thank you, Sean, thank you, Dee. I'm naming all of them.
I don't think these are real thank yous.
These aren't real thank yous. These are frick yous, that's what they are. Anyway. First thing we saw, Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy. We'd been hearing rumors about this, but never saw the game. But this game is real. It's coming out in October.
Nice.
And it's a cross-gen game.
Yeah.
You play as Star-Lord, and you command your team of Groot, Rocket, what's her name? The green chick? Gamora.
There's
Someone
a couple of chicks,
say,
so...
What's that? Zoe Deschanel, or what's her name? What's the woman's
Zoe
name?
Deschanel.
No, what's the actress's name in thing?
I've completely forgot because she threw me for a loop, but I do know
Who's Zoe
it.
Deschanel?
Zoe Saldana.
That's the one, yeah. Same thing, Zoe Deschanel, same thing.
Zoe Deschanel's a totally different chick. Totally different.
Same to me. And Drax.
Yeah.
I like this at the beginning. You can see my reaction. I think everyone in the chat as well. We were like, yeah, okay, Guardians of the Galaxy. And they start off and there's music and stuff like that. Unfortunately for the stream, it was the non-copyright music, which threw us through a bit of a loop. It was like, it doesn't seem right.
It's one of the best things about Guardians of the Galaxy is the music. Yeah.
Exactly. But it started off okay. And then it was like there was one point where he throws Rocket across this like gorge to get him to activate a bridge, and then it says on the things like Rocket is furious with you, and this sort of like negatively affects your relationship with him. And I was like,
but that seems to be the only way to solve this puzzle. And also it felt like they were just talking across this gorge for like 5 minutes, really statically, killed all the tempo.
It was without interaction, just talking without interaction, and they weren't like looking at each other. It was just sort of like, we're walking, play audio, and then it came to the combat, and the combat kind of looked a little bit
it had Mass Effect vibes. I thought like you can pick which party member does what and which attack and who they
give like commands and stuff to them. And then also there was there
was a frame rate drop.
There was heavy frame rate drops in this combat scene, and we don't know what system it was playing on, but I have to assume it was playing on the PS2.
Wow,
because
that's even worse than I was going to be like, bad. Man, it's a good base PS4. Like, no,
it was an early prototype of the PS1.
It's an early build, okay?
But it looked awful. It is apparently coming out to PS5 and PC and Xbox Series X.
Yeah, but
also last gen as well. And I just got Avengers vibes from this. That's what I got from it.
That's the thing. The last Marvel game we saw is like a year old now, year and a half, maybe something like that. Marvel Avengers was trash.
Yes.
And a lot of this looks similar, I'll say, which is that they're not using the same faces.
Yeah.
So we have that, which was a big thing that people didn't like about Marvel Avengers. The voice actors are different. Fine. Don't expect you to get Chris, whatever his name is, Pratt. And all of those guys, fine. I get that. But it feels Marvel's Avengers E, and then you have frame rate drops and those weird static moments where, you throw Ratchet across the thing, and then instead of, he's like, I want a better cut. Like, okay, I agree. No, you can't. Or how about you shut up? Like, You don't get any choice. You just have to sit through the static thing.
Yeah.
So, also, it's going to be a terrible game in one sense for streamers and content creators, because guaranteed they'll have a stream safe music setting.
Yeah.
But one of the things that is so great about Guardians of the Galaxy is that like 80s power ballad music, right?
Yeah.
Which you won't get to experience.
Terrible for us.
Right, so when you're making content, you have to turn all the good music off. When you're streaming, you have to turn all the good music off.
How does that sell to the people that you're streaming
And
to?
your main advertisers are streamers, but then they can't stream your content because the full content, because that's most of the great experiences, that incredible music and soundtrack. So
It's gonna be bad. I think.
I want it to be good.
I don't know. Why is it that Insomniac is the only one that's managed to do a good Marvel game?
Well, so that's exactly what I was about to say. Is that
Everyone else is just shit.
I want it to be good because the Spider-Man games are incredible, and do you know what would be brilliant? Superhero games that don't suck.
Yeah.
Right? It would be incredible to have more than just Batman and Spider-Man. They're the only two. Everything else sucks.
Give us Superman.
But seriously, like, maybe if there were a bunch of Guardians of the Galaxy comes out, and then, I don't know, like, pick any other thing.
Hawkeye.
Maybe. You're like, hey, freaking Aloy, you know? So, if 4 or 5 other things come out and they do well, maybe someone goes, hey, man, what about Superman?
Yeah.
Why can't we do that?
I've got an idea. Let me try this.
But it's never going to happen without these games. Just give all the superhero games to Insomniac, innit?
Yeah, just fuck it, bro. Just give them everything. Forget it, guys. We then got Legends of Mana. Not my kind of game.
Yeah, neither.
Marvel's Avengers DLC, Black Panther DLC. This was very strange because every other character that's come into it, it's just sort of been, you get to play as Hawkeye,
right.
You get to play as this person. But when it came to Black Panther, and I think it was because of Chadwick Boseman's passing, it seemed like it was single player. They didn't have any other characters there, and it was just Black Panther. And I was like, this looks like a Black Panther game, which could be quite fucking cool.
Mate.
But then it was like, it's Marvel's Avengers, so surely this is just for like a short moment, and then it's just going to go back to joining all the rest of them. And it's going to ruin it.
I'm a really disappointed Black Panther fan.
Mm-hmm.
I love Chadwick Boseman as Black Panther. I thought the Black Panther movie was not very good.
Bits to be desired.
But as a first installment would have been brilliant. A second one with Chadwick Boseman would have been, I think they could have like built on top of it and stuff. Because I'm a Black Panther fan from before the movies. I just wouldn't have included... You've already done enough damage. If like Cap, Iron Man, Hulk and Thor can't carry this game, don't drag Black Panther to it. Especially Chadwick Boseman, you're gonna like...
You're ruining his name.
You're killing his legacy.
Yeah.
Like, and it's a genuinely brilliant character. Like, maybe let's just let this quietly die off. Give it a few years, learn from the experience, do something new. By the way, give it to Insomniac.
By the way.
Like, I do genuinely think Insomniac making a Black Panther game would be freaking brilliant.
Yeah.
That would be amazing. I would be so down for that. So, anything, you just hear Marvel's Avengers and you're like,
yeah.
Meh. Meh. I don't know, man. No good.
And then the show really kicked into gear.
Yes.
Then it really went up into like, all right, guys, let's get this. Open up the taps. And they said Square Enix Mobile Division.
That's right.
Hoo boy! They said Hitman.
Don't you all have phones?
Then they went, a game coming to mobiles. Hitman Sniper: The Shadows, which didn't feature a hitman. It zoomed out on a sniper, and it was just a dude.
It was a guy. Yeah.
And then there was a woman that popped up, and I was just
I saw this. Yeah.
Do you guys? That's like Splinter Cell, but not using Splinter Cell.
Do you remember your franchise?
So what? So weird.
Yeah, that was odd.
And then there was a near reincarnation, again for mobile.
Yeah,
it's great. It's got to be. I mean, the PC gamers are loving it at the moment. That's their favorite platform. Final Fantasy VII: The First Soldier, which was I think this was a Souls type game. I think this was a Souls type game. Anyway, that came out.
Yeah, that did.
Babylon's Fall. Didn't know too much about it. Wasn't
okay.
That great. It was Life is Strange. Now this one's the I think it's something Colors Beyond Colors, something like that. People in the chat were trying to tell me, they were like, Life is Strange is actually a good franchise.
Yeah.
Go check it out. Start from 1 if you want to. And I think there's one of them they told me to just avoid because it wasn't that good.
Yeah.
But it's all about like a person discovering they have superpowers and then dealing with that.
Yeah.
And this girl in this, she has the ability to sense people's emotions and some of their surface thoughts. Like in one of them, this one woman says like, she's like, I don't see the point in me living. Like, I think I should just end my life. And she's just like, I can take that feeling away from you, but it's almost like she would absorb that feeling and she would feel it. It's like, what would happen if I take it away? What would happen to me? But then,
so you can heal someone, but you take the damage, that you swap it to yourself. Yeah.
And then there was like almost an implication that like, but if I take it away, does that disrupt the flow of what was supposed to happen? Like her destiny or other people's destinies around? Anyway, it was super interesting, it seemed to me. I don't know where.
Yeah, Life is Strange is a game that has like an interesting concept that I never got into, and now I feel like it's not. I can't think of a better way to say it, but not worth me getting into it at this point, because it's it's established and I don't know it. But I don't know. There's a bunch of games that you feel that way about a bit, and then you like Control was one for me. Like there's a bunch of games in this world, and I played Control in it because it's kind of a standalone. It's not relevant. It's in the same universe, but not dependent on the other games. It's like a great way in. So, and it's hard to tell. But I'm also not interested in anything mobile.
Oh, come on, let's have some mobile games. Come on. Strangers of Paradise was also shown off. It's a Final Fantasy Origin game. I didn't notice anything Final Fantasy about it other than the guy had a really big sword. It wasn't like Cloud Sword, but it was a big sword. And the guy grabbed someone's head and he's like, I'm going to turn you to dust. And I don't know what that was all about. But it was very Japanese. And very, and that was the Square Enix show, and you can tell why it was so terrible. That was everything. There was obviously the Ubisoft Forward event that we didn't watch because it's Ubisoft and it's just shit and no one cares about them. But something interesting did happen. Yves Guillemot turned up and he said that apparently he's really happy with how the community supports Ubisoft.
Oh, really?
Even through like dark times.
He's really got his finger on the pulse of his community then.
Exactly. And he could tell from all of the disabled comments in the Ubisoft Forward event.
Yeah. Thanks for your kind comments rolling in during the stream. Yeah,
and then he saw this one. It was like, hold Ubisoft accountable, hashtag trending on Twitter. And he read them all, obviously.
Of course,
and he saw, look at the support for Ubisoft.
That's right. People love what we're doing here.
Most tone-deaf motherfucking thing in the world. Tell you what was really weird. The Yusuf guy that hosts the Ubisoft thing, his girlfriend on Twitter quote tweeted his show and his picture on one of the things.
Yeah.
And said the most weirdest thing. She was like, I can't believe I get to sit on this face. And I was like, yo, this man's trying to do something professional on stream, and then you come along and you're like,
I mean,
I respect the braveness of this tweet. But keep it in the bedroom.
I will say, if it wasn't Ubisoft, I would find that hilarious.
Yeah.
And funny, and I think it would be like great for their marketing.
Yeah.
However, it is a sexualized woman, and she's sexualizing herself, fine, whatever. Assuming that was her that sent the tweet. Yeah. In regards to a high up senior Ubisoft guy in the current climate,
it's not a good look.
So I feel like maybe it's the wrong temperature for the room. You know?
It's just back up, pull up.
So
eject.
No, otherwise, and I do want to be very clear, otherwise I think that would probably be very, very funny, and it would have been hilarious, and would have been like gamer points, like gamers get laid and all that stuff. Read the temperature of the room, like in fairness, again to this person, because I don't know her.
Yeah.
Probably not paying that much attention to the inner politics of her boyfriend's job. You know, she doesn't know, she's just being funny.
Yeah.
So nothing against her, but like, and again, I don't care that it's like a professional event.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of, while gaming is in a huge industry and is a serious business, the community-facing side, not so much. It's much less serious, much more, because it's an entertainment thing, right? Like, if that had been said about an actor coming out in a movie, if that was Henry Cavill's girlfriend, right, talking about him playing Superman, we'd find it hilarious. Right? It'd be funny and quirky. We would. Stuff. It's just the current timing and the company, and also then Eve's coming out and saying, "Thanks for all the support.
Yeah.
And
It would have been funny. She says that and goes, "Hold that hashtag. Hold Ubisoft accountable." Okay. Hold Ubisoft accountable, but I'd like to sit on that face.
right. Yeah. So you know.
Anyway,
yeah.
that was all of the E3 events so far. It's been a bit lackluster.
You didn't watch the UB event because I wasn't free.
There was one point where I flicked it over because someone said that the comments were disabled, and I was like, I have to go check this out.
Yeah.
And yes, it is. It was right there.
Called it. I hate being right about this stuff. I know. I say my suits thing, and I think people think I'm joking. I really unironically hate suits. Mm-hmm. Ubisoft is the embodiment of exactly what I'm talking about, and now you know.
Yep.
Now you know. So there you go.
Yeah. All right, guys. That's everything that we have to talk about for the current the E3 event so far.
Yeah, boy.
We'll give you guys a little recap on Nintendo's thing on Thursday when we do our recording, and also we'll give our impressions on Ratchet and Clank as well. I think that'll be quite fun.
Yeah. By the way, not guaranteeing that I will have finished the game, so it won't be a full review. It'll be more like an impressions thing because I'm not. What's that word? Oh, cunt.
Now you can review a game without finishing it. Come on, man.
Right, like
you don't need to play the whole game. So what if there's a big twist at the end?
I've played the first 2 hours of the game.
That's it.
So I feel comfortable reviewing it, telling you to pay. What does it cost? $70 on your $500 console. I've played 2 hours.
I expect your full review on my desk by Monday. Okay.
It's a 2,000 word count.
There's a lot of ums and ahs in there.
Thus, henceforth. And as was previously mentioned, the first comment hitherto unrelated to like
you just nailed like 100
that was
words.
my dissertation, bruv. That was my dissertation, and I still didn't make the word count.
Oh god! They're like, you're still 10,000 words short. Shit! How am I going to do more henceforths with this coming? Anyway, thank you all for joining us. We'll catch you all in the next one, bro. I'll catch you in the next one. Safe. The way you just pulled out your ass.
Tell me I'm wrong.
You pulled out your ass right now. I'm like, damn, that's good. That's good. That worked.